and welcome to another edition of A Shave and a Song. Glad you're here today. If you have found this channel because you were searching for a shaving video, you're here. If you found this channel because you were searching for a song, you're also here. It's kind of a little eclectic show in which we talk about shaving with a straight razor. We actually shave with a straight razor, but at the same time, while we're doing what we need to do in the mornings, we also listen to some music and talk about some music. And a lot of times my goal is to introduce you to new pieces of music that may or may not be commercial. Most of the time it's not really commercial stuff, but it's good stuff nonetheless, at least in my opinion is. And from the feedback I've been getting, you guys kind of enjoy it too. It's introducing you to new things. So if you've come here and if you've stuck around for the last 50 seconds, you know, keep watching. We're going to have some fun today. If you really want to skip over all the talk about the song or about the music, you can go to the description below and just jump right to the song and listen to that. So today I'm going to get my face kind of wet with some Bloom water as we get ready to go. I'm going to be shaving with my own homemade shaving soap. I call it Oriental Trade Winds, and it's a nice little soap. I think I'm pretty happy with the results. It took me a couple times to get it right, but I'm pretty happy with it. I've had several testers use it, and they say it's good. So I don't know what my aspirations are with it, but I made some. If the lighting seems a little funky today, it's because yesterday I had a CFL bulb go out, and I used daylight bulbs. And today, when I went to put in a replacement bulb, I didn't have any more. I just had a regular soft tungsten type bulb. I mean, it's still CLF, but it puts off CFL, but it still puts off like that orange glow. So if part of my face is orange and part of my face is light, it's because I have two different bulbs going. Go figure. All right, so I'm building up the lather, and this particular soap that I made, it's a really good soap. It sustains its lather really well, but it's a thirsty soap, so you have to add a little water as you go just to make sure you get the right consistency. But once you get it going, it really lathers well. So that's kind of what we're doing now, is just kind of building it up. Today I wanted to introduce you to an artist that's been around a long time. Been around since the 70s, but I'm not sure that anybody's really heard of this particular person, or very few people have. His name is Robin Crow, and I remember that name just because it's two names of a bird, Robin and Crow. Robin Crow, he's a pretty interesting musician, pretty interesting person. Musician is not the only thing that he does, or that's not his only claim to fame, if you will. He's a musician, he's an author, he's a studio owner, he's also even a speaker. And when I say speaker, I want to say motivational speaking, but that's not really right. I mean, it may be motivational speaking, but it's really geared toward business owners and entrepreneurs and things of that nature. He gives lectures, he goes on a lecture circuit, both playing his guitar and singing, but also talking about customer service and business growth and change and leadership and things like that. So he's pretty adept, and he does a lot of work with it. All right, I'm going to re-wet my face and start painting as we get ready for the first pass. So Robin, he started his music career back in 1977. So like I said, he's been around a while. And actually, he dropped out of high school before that and started releasing albums in '77, and then released several albums, but really didn't go anywhere until he released his solo album called Electric Cinema in 1992. And that's when I first heard him, was in 1992. I had come home for lunch and turned on the TV, and back then I had a great big C-band satellite dish, you know, the great big huge one that rotates on the pole in your backyard. I had one of those. This was before like Dish Network and things were really popular. So I was home for lunch, rotating through the channels as I was getting ready to eat. The Nashville Network, I don't even know if that's still on, I have no idea. And that wasn't something that I really watched at the time anyway, but it just happened to be on, and Robin Crow was on as a guest, and he was getting ready to play, and so I thought, well, you know what? I'll just go ahead and give a listen, see what it sounds like. And so I did, and it was a really good piece of music. It wasn't country, it wasn't anything like that at all. Just that's the station he got booked on, that's the talk show that he got booked on. And I really like this music. I'm going to start my first pass, and then we'll continue talking, and we'll play the song on my second pass, as you know. It's really odd when the color of the light changes. And if you've been watching any length of time at all, you know that today I'm using my Dobo 6/8 with the scales that I made, customized scales, because those plastic ones that come standard with the Dobo are very, very cheap and they don't last. I'm going to have to get that bulb replaced. This is... So anyway, I really liked what I heard that day. He's a very enthusiastic player. And I remember he had a couple of guitars. We've all seen musicians play two guitars, one that's strapped around, you know, their shoulder, and then there's another one like on a guitar stand, and they'll walk up to it and play it. But his guitar stand was a spring, like one of those park rides for little kids, that the little animal that's mounted on the spring and they rock back and forth on it. Well, he had his guitar in one of those, and when he'd ring out the sustaining notes on that guitar, he'd rock it back and forth, and it would really give a very interesting tone as it rocked. So I quickly wrote down his name. I didn't have to really commit it to paper because I could remember Robin Crow. And I wrote down the name of the album. And then I made a trip to my local record store. Yes, we had record stores back then. And this is when portable DVD players were the big thing, with the anti-skip mechanism built in. And they cost $1,000. I'm just kidding, they cost a lot of money though. And my local record store had never heard of him. As a matter of fact, I'm guessing that most people in the Midwest in 1992, and maybe even today, still have never heard of Robin Crow. But they were able to look him up in their catalog. We didn't have computers back then to look up stuff like this. It was all still catalog. we could look him up in their catalog, and we ordered the album, and I did get it. And it's a good album. Fantastic music on it. Even a couple of cover songs that he does from U2 and Pink Floyd. And he does them really well. Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd, and I think I still haven't found What I'm Looking For by U2. But the rest are his. And it's a good album. Although, again, I think it's pretty much still a very much unknown album amongst the masses, because that's just the way the times were. If you were starting out, there was really no way to get your music picked up and played if you weren't picked up by a major label. So, you know, think of that. Started releasing albums in 1977, and I didn't even hear him until 1992. But I still listen to the album, the CD. I own the CD, and I still listen to it. And what I want to know, what I want to play today from that album is called Speed of Sound. That's the song that he played on the Nashville Network when I came home from lunch and first heard him. There's some great pieces of music on this album, but today I'm going to play Speed of Sound from 1992 Electric Cinema. The only complaint I have about the album is the volume isn't mixed very well. It's too soft. You really have to crank it on your player to hear it. You know, and on a big stereo system, that's not a huge deal. On a little iPod that I'm playing with, that tends to be sometimes a little bit of a problem. And the beginning of this song starts out really, really quiet, really quiet. So when I hit play, it's probably going to be 10-15 seconds before you really start hearing the music, but then you will. So here it is, Robin Crow, 1992, Electric Cinema. This is Speed of Sound. And there you have it. Robin Crow, Speed of Sound from the 1992 release of Electric Cinema. I'd forgotten how much I like and enjoy hearing a fretless bass. Seems like the late 80s, early 90s were an era where the fretless bass was kind of a thing, and it has a very distinctive sound. And yeah, I think it kind of got overused and kind of got burned out. And you don't hear it much anymore, but it's I like it. It's on. It was in that song, so there you go. Well, we have completed the shave just in time. I hope you enjoyed that. You can still see Robin Crow today if you do a search on YouTube. Although most of what you find, at least the last time I did a search for him, most of what you find deals with his lecture engagements. But you do see him, he kind of opens up for himself sometimes, you know, so he'll come out and he'll play and then he'll come back out and give the lecture. And he's one of those that, you know, maybe he'll play a song or two during his lecture or speaking engagement. So check him out on YouTube. You know, see what he's up to today, and don't be afraid to explore some new artists. Even if you're whipping through a music channel that you are not a big fan of that genre, but somebody's getting ready to play, give a quick little listen, because I was really surprised. This was definitely not something I expected to hear on the Nashville network back in '92, but I did, and I ended up really liking it. So the point is, try out new music. Give it a listen, and just expand your mind and build on your music library. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. That's a passion of mine. So okay, well, let's go ahead and clean the razor down, and then I'll wrap it up, shall we? Again, apologize for the light. Let me tell you, when that I've had CFL lights burn out before. But this one, actually, the ballast burned out, which is, it's designed to do that in certain occasions, and ours did, so there was no danger of fire, but boy, it stunk, and it still smells even today. So I don't know if it's permeated in the towels and things like that. We may have to wash all the towels and whatnot, but it was horrible. All right, I'm going to finish off with some Art of Shaving sandalwood that seems to complement my homemade shaving soap. Let's see if you can see that. Homemade shaving soap, which is, I call it Oriental Trade Winds. I think it's a good soap. So this is more of a balm rather than an aftershave by Art of Shaving. I really like the sandalwood scent. I'm out of their shaving cream, Art of Sandalwood. I need to get some more because I really liked that. I have a couple of others, OUD and Lavender by Art of Shaving, but I really like their sandalwood. I'm going to have to get some more. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for joining us. I hope you stuck around. I hope you enjoyed the song. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, learned a little bit about Robin Crow. Maybe go check him out. Join us again next week. We'll have another song, have another shave. And as always, live life and happy shaving, everybody.